It's going to make me cry before I start. Well, thank you, Gordon. That was really kind. It makes sense, really, that I am where I am in life, since every choice, both intentional and casual, every action, each learning has led me down some seemingly meandering path leading to this point. My CMU journey started at Concord College, at the Elmwood campus. I moved into dorm and quickly fell into comfortable community with dorm and classmates. Of course, this launched me into a whole host of other experiences, which I imagine those in front are experiencing now. Biblical studies under the formative teaching of faculty, some of whom, as you know, are here today, pushed me to think critically and to merge my faith and my life. An exchange semester at Lithuania Christian College, as it was then, was a mind-blowing experience for a young student intent on experiencing everything to its utmost. It also gave me exposure to a diverse student community still somewhat under the shadow of former Soviet occupation. My time at LCC prompted me to match my biblical studies with international development studies at Menno Simons College. One of the key learnings I took away from international development studies was not how we might go out and fix the problems of the world, but how to be aware of our own impact on others and the world, and our own role in addressing that. International development studies led me to a practicum in Botswana, Africa. Working with local organizations in Botswana, and then here in Winnipeg after graduation, showed me that a well-intentioned program can be meaningless if, for policy reasons, the people who need it most can't access it. So I thought, well, how do we get at policy? Law is one way. So I applied to law school. It may also have helped that both Nelson Mandela and Gandhi were lawyers who facilitated incredible social change. What inspiration. After law school, I pursued work in public interest and human rights law, and now I work as counsel for the Manitoba Human Rights Commission. What a privilege. Human rights law recognizes the individual worth and dignity of every member of the human family. It says that all people have the right to be treated solely on the basis of personal merit and be given equality of opportunity in society. No one should be excluded from full participation in society because of their ancestry, their sex, their religion, their disability, or any other aspect of their identity. These are principles that inspire and have given me great meaning and reward in my work. And now that I am a human rights lawyer, advocating for full inclusion of everyone in society on both individual and policy levels, I have encountered yet another learning, which Gordon touched on. That is that enforcement of human rights law, however important that may be, does not necessarily change hearts. It does not mend the problem of us versus them. Only relationships do that. And it involves openness to be vulnerable on all sides. I'll give you an example. My husband and I have been married for 12 years. Over that time, we have done a lot of negotiating about how to be in relationship. One thing we knew we wanted from the start was absolute openness and safety to talk about hard things, and a relationship where our roles were defined by our personalities rather than our gender. Or one could say in human rights language, roles based on personal merit rather than gender stereotypes. Wow, that has resulted in a lot of hard conversations. Well, looking back over the years of our marriage, I asked Paul recently, and I'm not exactly sure what prompted me to ask this question, but I said, Paul, how has it been being married to me? Yeah, his response was, Heather, Do you know the difference between a danger and a hazard? Well, not exactly the answer I was expecting. He explained, a danger is a risk you can see. Like looking down over the side of a bridge, you see the danger and can take steps to stay safe from harm. In contrast, a hazard is like buried glass in sand. You find the glass when you step on it. Being married to you is a hazard. Wow. Well, this is going well. But he explained further, thankfully, and this is what he said. People in positions of power and advantage in society don't have to know how their actions and words impact others. They have blind spots. As a man, a person in a position of power and advantage in society, Paul has had blind spots about how his words and actions have impacted me as a woman. And building the marriage we have wanted has, among other things, meant painfully finding the blind spots, the hazards, as they surface, and then working through them. And I have to say, what an incredible person he is to walk toward that experience. Of course, I have blind spots too, because of positions of advantage I hold in society. I am white, I have relative wealth, I am able-bodied. This gives me automatic access to parts of society that are off limits to others. And because of my advantage, I don't have to be aware of how not everyone has access. And I don't have to be aware of how my action or my inaction impacts others. When we talk about making space in society for everyone, which is the essence of human rights, who is it that is making space? Well, it can mean people who are marginalized deciding to fill their space in society. But it can also mean that we who are taking up the most space become aware, even if painfully, of our blind spots and move over for other people and perspectives. It doesn't mean we no longer walk on the beach, but when we step on glass, we don't shut out the painful and humbling experience. We become curious and vulnerable and embrace the experience as a learning. And when that experience occurs within the commitment of building relationships, it can be a powerful and transformative experience for our relationships and our communities. So you can see that all of the learnings I've collected through Concord College, Menno Simons, CMU, and all of the associated experiences and travels that I've had have led me to this place. And my most recent learning, thanks to Paul, gives me hope that we all can and will make room for one another, not just because we have to, but because of the relationships we have pursued and nurtured in our communities. Thank you so much for this award. I'm honored and humbled to receive it.